What's going on, my fellow rock and rollers? Don't forget to hit the bell notification icon to be notified every time I put out a new video on my channel. You guys remember when MTV used to have those crazy contests with rock stars where you could meet and party with them? Some of the more famous contests that come to my mind include the Evict Axl Rose contest in 1990, where you would win his Los Angeles condo and he'd throw you a housewarming party. Then there was the one that happened years earlier when one lucky fan and a friend could win a chance to party with Van Halen over 2 nights in 1984. It was one of the greatest MTV contests ever. Stay tuned to find out the full story. 1984 was a tumultuous year for Van Halen. On one hand, the band released their record 1984, which was a massive hit, and gave the band their first #1 hit single with Jump. But it was also the source of a lot of creative tension between guitarist Eddie Van Halen and frontman David Lee Roth. Eddie wanted the band's music to grow and evolve, while Roth wanted to stay in the gutter. It really all started with the band's previous record, 1982's album Diver Down, when the pair clashed over what to do with a synth riff that Eddie had come up with. Eddie wanted to use it for an original composition, while Roth wanted to use it for a cover, and Roth got his way, and the song would become Dancing in the Street. The song had been covered by many artists, and it was originally written by the trio of Marvin Gaye, William Mickey Stevenson, and Ivy Joe Hunter, and it's a song that dated back to 1964. While the band was dealing with creative differences, the tour to support 1984 was massive to the point that the whole thing got so bloated that drummer Alex Van Halen admitted that the band made no money on it. Not helping was that the band members seemed to be more splintered than ever. Roth was making it clear in the press that he may not be around in Van Halen forever, and it was no surprise that a year later, when he was finally out of the group. One of the brighter moments of that tour was that Van Halen would team up with MTV to give 2 lucky fans a chance to party with the band, and the contest was called the Lost Weekend with Van Halen. The grand prize was to hang out with Van Halen for 2 days on the road, in addition to getting $1,000 of cash, a Honda Nighthawk motorcycle, a video camera to film the adventure, an Atari video game system, and even a private screening of the movie Footloose on the Learjet that would take you to meet the band. There was plenty of other prizes as well. Here's a clip of the contest promo that MTV ran.
Get ready for the MTV Lost Weekend with Van Halen. Do you have the guts to enter this contest?
Destination unknown. You'll have no idea where you are, you'll have no idea where you're going, and probably no memory of it after you go, but it'll be the whole weekend.
According to the book I Want My MTV, the contest was based off an old movie named The Lost Weekend, which was about an alcoholic. It would turn out that the guy who won the contest would later become an alcoholic, and he also had a metal plate in his head, something we'll get to in a little bit. Now, a producer for MTV named Richard Schenkman wrote the copy for the promo spot. He would remember shooting the commercial I just showed you and how frontman David Lee Roth would end up sleeping with both of the models in the promo. And MTV, for their part, would receive over 1 million postcard entries for the contest. The winner of the contest would be a guy named Kurt Jeffries, who was 20 at the time and lived in Pennsylvania. Jeffries initially mailed in 8 postcards, and while the contest was going on, he walked by a post office and thought to himself that he should maybe mail another batch of postcards, which he did. At the end of the day, Jeffries would reveal in the Lost Weekend documentary that he mailed a total of 13 postcards, and it was the second batch of postcards that got him selected as a winner. He would end up being announced as the winner on air by VJ Martha Quinn. Jeffries had a girlfriend at the time who he surprisingly didn't take to meet Van Halen. Okay, maybe that was a good thing. It's like taking your girlfriend to a Steel Panther show. After Jeffries was announced as the winner, he received hundreds of offers from women offering their bodies, while men offered him money and even motorcycles to tag along for the weekend. Instead, he would end up choosing one of his friends named Tom Winnick. Even after he picked his friend to tag along, according to the Van Halen News Desk website, Jeffries was inundated with requests from people to get as many souvenirs as possible from the band, including hair from a particular part of David Lee Roth's body, which you can probably figure out. The whole thing, of course, was taped by MTV to air on their channel, and the pair would be picked up from their home by a limo and then flown on a Learjet to Detroit, where Van Halen was playing 2 nights. According to the Van Halen news desk, prior to landing in Detroit, the pair had already started drinking, and by the time they disembarked from the plane, their blood alcohol limit was twice the legal amount in the state of Michigan. Keep in mind, they still had 2 long days in front of them. Upon landing in Detroit, they would be picked up by another limo and taken to their hotel. Upon arriving at the hotel, groupies who were waiting for the band recognized the contest winners and tried to cut some deals with them to get access to the band, but nothing was agreed to. The pair would be shuttled to their suites where they found various pieces of Van Halen memorabilia, including tour jackets and guitar picks. The pair then headed off to Van Halen's concert at Cobo Hall that same evening. Jeffries recalled being nervous as hell, but fondly remembered how the band, according to him, treated us like one of the guys and really paid attention to us. The pair drank with the band, posed for photos backstage, and Jeffries was brought on stage by the band where he was sprayed with champagne and hit in the face with a cake. The real party though started after the show. There were groupies, alcohol, and drugs, and according to one Van Halen crew member, the antics that weekend were X-rated, and Jeffries would spend some time with a famous groupie named Tammy, thanks to frontman David Lee Roth who set the whole thing up. One story that was overlooked or forgotten about was that Jeffries had failed to mention something quite important to the people at MTV. Unbeknownst to the people at MTV, Jeffries had suffered brain trauma a couple of years earlier as a result of falling 13 feet in a stairwell while drunk. He had been in the hospital for some time in a coma, and it probably wasn't wise for him to be drinking. On top of that, Jeffries was taking anti-seizure medication, and he would remember at the end of the night saying, "I blacked out, and the next thing I remember is waking up in a hotel room bed." The second night saw a food fight happen while Winnick was found locked in a closet wearing a bra, with him remembering, "I was in recovery and shock for many days afterwards. They were so friendly and entertaining, as huge as they are, it was the best time of my life." So you're probably wondering what happened after the contest. According to Richard Schenkman, the filmmaker who shot the entire weekend for MTV had to sit down with Van Halen's management afterwards and go through the footage frame by frame, and the manager dictated what the band didn't want shown. Jeffries, for his part, would reveal in the book I Want My MTV that "I'm in an anonymous program now, I was drinking oil tankers of booze, smoking plantations of marijuana, and heading to be buried. My parents gave me an ultimatum, and today he works as a facility manager at a school and does maintenance work. Sadly though, he's also legally blind and diabetic." So that does it for today's video, guys. Thanks for watching. Be sure to like button and subscribe. If you guys have suggestions for future topics, let me know in the comment section below. Take care.